contraband is
It's
manipulated in the
manipulated
system.
and stuff
Private
like-
prisons do not have this knowledge. And when they pay the minimum wage and they don't properly train, they'll never have that knowledge. And that's why people that are very dangerous are escaping from these institutions and becoming a threat to the community.
It's absolutely, and later on, a little later in the show, I'm going to talk about Connecticut. Connecticut dropped a pay program because of escapes and their inability to provide proper care to prisoners that were inside. But we got some real problems here in Connecticut with everybody's got problems because they're trying to save money, okay, and they don't realize
This isn't saving money.
this isn't saving money. The real way to save money is classification and turning out a lot of people that don't belong there.
Stop putting nonviolent people in jail.
People don't need to be in there.
A kid smoking a joint doesn't belong in a prison.
No, and he don't need to be doing 5 years.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
that's outrageous. He needs treatment or something else. But if we could do that, we could reduce. You talk about reduce
Drug
the
addiction is
deficit.
an illness.
Exactly right.
That's the bottom line. Drug addiction is an illness.
Right.
Those individuals don't belong in prisons, and we're paying to the nose
This
to
war
keep
on-
them there.
This war on drug is a con to everybody in the United States. Okay, they've done studies. Again, see, I really like this stuff because anything that I've told my audience on TV that we have here in Connecticut has been verified, researched, and everything else. Okay, Father's not a professional in some things and everything else, but the information we give you is quality information, and we tell you where you can get it. So, you know, we're not blowing smoke at you, or this is not a vengeance thing because I did time or anything else like this. This is trying to say that you folks, us that are out in society, number one, need to be protected. And from who? From these gamers. It's not the prisoners. It's not the prisoners. It's the private
We're talking
industry.
public safety.
We're talking public safety. Exactly right.
When 97% of the people in jail are coming to the street, the only real question is, how do you want them
'em?
back to the street?
Right.
Better than they went in or worse? Right now, they're coming back worse.
Well, with people like this who are treating them like this with no qualifications, no training or anything else like that, that's what they're doing. They're they're sending us home.
Well, just
Worse-
keep in mind now, when you don't have programs, right, and you simply have a man sitting in a cage,
Right.
his mind is concentrated on getting out of that cage.
Yeah.
And your people are not trained to keep him in the cage. So very dangerous people are getting away from these privatized prisons and wreaking havoc on the community.
This is outrageous.
It really is outrageous.
It really
and I
is
want to reiterate,
outrageous.
Private Prison Media Report. This is something you really have to go online and get a hold of. And again, it's going to be on the bottom of the screen, all right, but I'll say it again. www.cointel.com and get a copy of this. And they have other reports that they've done. Now, this is the line guards that are putting this together, not just from one state, across the nation. So, I mean, you're getting it from different sources. And the beauty of this is they've done their research. They've done their homework. And when you get into this, what's great is they list all kinds of states. The District of Columbia, I'll just hit them fast. Florida, Delaware, New Mexico, Kentucky, Kansas, Indiana, Michigan. This is listing all these. New Mexico, I just said that, right? I mean, you really have to get into this to see the game that's being played. It's time to say, listen, stop the nonsense. Stop making money destroying people's lives. When you get out, when an industry, right, pushes for larger sentences, right, something is wrong. The privatized prisons lobbying for longer sentences to increase profit is unconscionable. And that's what's going on. And when that happens, what happens is corruption runs rampant. Because now they are putting money in the pockets of politicians to vote in their favor on nonsense things. I mean, they make it sound like they're doing great stuff, but when you read stuff like this, then you know what they're talking about is bullshit. And it's detrimental to society as a whole.
Let me, you know what, can I want to read this because you think you're safe with these people? This is unbelievable. I just want to take a few minutes, okay?
Go for it.
Escapes. The prison privatization industry, housing approximately 96,000 inmates in what are considered to be secure housing institutions. You got to listen. Institutions where inmates simply cannot walk off the grounds like they can in most halfway houses or many minimum security facilities. The California Department of Correction houses approximately 150,000 inmates in such facilities. The California Correctional Peace Officers Association studied escapes from the private prison industry and the California Department of Correction over an 8-year period, 1995 to 2004. And wait till you listen to this. And this is what they found. Out of the 150,000 inmates in the California Department of Correction, okay, they had 12 escapes. They had 12 escapes over an 8-year period. That's one escape for every 12,500 prisoners. Under the private prison, now that's supposed to keep you safer, okay, housing 96,000 prisoners, they had 319 escapes. One escape for every 300 prisoners. You gotta be kidding me! And
That's your security.
This is your the privateers are also very active in inmate transportation business, according to Mother Jones's magazine in 2000. A comparison between the private and the public inmate transportation revealed the following. Okay. In inmate transportation from 94 to 2000, the private section lost 37 prisoners. The United States Marshal, 0. You gotta be kidding me. I mean, okay, you talking about safe and secure. These people are outrageous.
Well, you know what it is? It's all about the profit. It's not about public safety.
No, or training
and they
people.
lie.
Oh,
they
yeah.
put out bogus propaganda. They're corrupting politicians.
No,
and they're not providing a service.
We got lobbyists here in Connecticut that they're being paid to lobby for greater hard-on crime stuff, longer
that's
sentences,
a good opening for you
and
to do
everything
the
else.
shame of Connecticut.
Well, I mean, they're right here in Connecticut, right there, trying to get a foothold in Connecticut, like they are in other places. Okay, and of course we know that the idea is you get longer sentencing, you get private prisons. It's about making money. It is not about protecting. It's not about public safety. And it's not about protecting the taxpayer or the community. This is outrageous. This is outrageous stuff. I mean, it's just, you know, I just hope that our people listen to what is going on and understand that this affects everybody. It affects our community. Okay, we are housing an unbelievable amount of people in slavery. Mostly of color, okay, and that's exactly who gets put away. The vast majority of individuals that are in the prisons are of color, Hispanics, Afro-American, and that they make up the majority. And what are they there for? What are they there for? Drug use.
Yeah.
Because of drug use, and it's absolutely outrageous. If we were concerned about real drug use, we'd be giving them care. Number one, we should be legalizing, as even law enforcement believes, okay, that we should be
LEAP,
the law enforcement
against prohibition.
Against prohibition, major professionals, okay,
Which
leaders.
which are prosecutors, judges,
Law
law enforcement.
Oh, you get the guy. One of the LEAP guys was the head guy appointed, I believe, by Reagan. One of them on the